Only 12% are there for 6 years. That's why they plugged it to 6 years. They know you're not going to stay. So it's not for your benefit. It's for the benefit of the company. It's a scam. There's an alternative, though. Phil's Gang. Join my gang. philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, philsgang.com's Phil Grandy has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. philsgang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, people make it too complicated. Wall Street tells you the market cap and the trailing PE and the forward PE and price to sales to confuse you. All you need to know is, does the stock have volume? What's that mean? Energy. What does that mean? If you have people buying a stock, enough of the stock's being bought, it influences the prices to go up. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We're using charting, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
Now, I don't think President Obama and Vice President Biden get the credit they deserve for saving us from the worst economic crisis of our lifetime.
So the decisions that we made to rescue our economy, to rescue the auto industry, to rebuild the economy on a new foundation, all those things are starting to pay off.
And I've heard from many who feel like the economy sure isn't working for them. And you know what? You're right. It's not yet working the way it should.
Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. What are you nuts? Listen to this. Isn't this insane? This is crazy. She's all over the place. She just threw him under the bus. It's amazing, isn't it? The politics. And then you got Bernie on the other side.
I don't think you are qualified.
Yeah, she wasn't qualified. Then she turns around.
Hillary Clinton must become the next president of the United States.
And they expect us to believe what they tell us, especially when we're investing. Are you nuts? This is crazy stuff. You know, over the weekend, I'm listening to these politicians. And the politicians continue with the same nonsense. Every time someone asks them, how are you going to create jobs? You know what the first thing they say? They go right to the politically correct answer. Increase minimum wage. What are you, nuts? Minimum wage? You got to be kidding me. There's not that many people on minimum wage to begin with. There's 147 million people that are on that's in the working force. 77 million of the 147 are on wages. The other 77, or the other half, is on hourly or salary. So let's take the 77 million who are hourly wage workers. Now, those folks, if you take and break it down again, only 1.5 million of the 77 million on wages are on minimum wage. Let's break it down again. Most of those are the age between 17 and 25. So we have 147 million workers. Do you really think by raising the minimum wage, you could raise the minimum wage to $100 an hour? It's not going to make any difference. You have when you have so few on minimum wage. See, it's all politics. It's all politics. You really want to create jobs quickly? It's real simple. Just add a work requirement component to welfare, like Clinton did. Remember when he did that? Welfare dropped 50% right away. The problem was, once Obama got into office, he gutted the act. And therefore, food stamps went right back up, increased by 50%. Disability checks doubled. Welfare as a whole went up 50%. What are you, nuts? But you know what he did? He increased the number of Democrat voters by 32%. That's what it's all about. The more people that you get on welfare, he knows, the more people are going to vote Democrat. That's what it's all about. You really think they care about 1.5 million people that are between the ages of 17 and 25? What are you, nuts? He doesn't care about these people. He doesn't care. See, the biggest problem facing this country is we don't have enough people working. It's not minimum wage. We don't have enough people working, especially full-time. It's that simple. We have 100 million people without a job. That's unacceptable. See, and there's this illusion that we created this recovery. There's no recovery. The illusion that Obama created 15 million jobs. And he caused the unemployment rate to go from 10% down to 4.5%. That's all an illusion. The unemployment rate dropped from 10% to 4.5%, not because of meaningful job creation, creating full-time jobs or high-paying jobs. Instead, what caused that rate to drop was the large amount of people leaving the workforce. 5 million people. And those 5 million people who left the workforce, they count as discouraged. They go and put them in some black hole somewhere so you don't even find them. That was the deal. They're never deducted from the unemployment rate. And the 15 million jobs he says he created, that's another lie. When he first became president, he was under pressure. He had to go and give a speech to the Black Caucus. He was really upset. This is after a year he was in office. Because the first year he was in office, he lost 5 million jobs. It wasn't all his fault. He took over Bush's mess too. But every president counts. They have to start their count, good or bad, from the day you get in office. So he had to go create this speech. He had to go give this speech to the Black Caucus. So they came up with the idea, he and his advisors, Larry Summers, came up with it. Just don't count them, he said. Don't talk them. Don't count them. Subtract them. Don't even count them. So he left that out. So that drops it right down to 10 million jobs. And then he left out another 485,000 jobs that were full-time, high-paying jobs that were lost. He didn't deduct that from the remaining 10 million. It's all an illusion. See, the reason it doesn't feel like a recovery, because there's no recovery. See, Obama was an educator. The people he surrounded himself were politicians and educators. They never created a job in their life. They don't know what it is to work. They didn't know. Instead of building back the balance sheets of those on Main Street first. See, the first thing should have done is say, I'm going to build back the balance sheets of those folks on Main Street. The 15 million people who lost their homes to foreclosure. Who got wiped out $8 trillion in home equity. Who lost another $5 trillion in savings and fixed income. Their 401k. I'm going to fix them. I'm going to fix the small business. That's who builds this country. That's the country. Obama ignored that entire group. He ignored the small business. He ignored Main Street people. He ignored the people who lost their homes, who got wiped, who lost $8 trillion in home equity, another $5 trillion in savings and fixed income. Instead, he went to great lengths to rebuild what? The balance sheets of the Wall Street parasites. His buddies. The banksters. The hedge funds. The auto industry. His money bundlers who put him in office. And the 1 percentile of the population. That, by the way, of all the stimulus money, they received the equivalent of $246,000 per person compared to the Main Street person who lost their home and the small business person who received the equivalent of $124. And you want to know why there's no recovery? That's why there's no recovery. Obama's next mistake as an educator, he was never a business person. He always sucked off the government. He targeted stimulus money, which first was $750 billion. Then there was another $8 trillion. took that money and he targeted it to the wrong parts of the economy because he was an educator. And we'll talk about that when we get back and how to make some money in stocks. My name is Phil Grandy. This is Phil's Gang, 15 past the hour. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, philsgang.com's Phil Grandy has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. philsgang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere, no matter where I go, I'm not going to get into the stock market because it's rigged. And I think, what are you, nuts? That's exactly why I want to get into the market. Here, listen to this.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish the wealth effect.
No, we front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally. So are you telling me you don't want to get into a market where they front-loaded an enormous rally, where they fixed it to go up? You don't want to get in? What are you, nuts? Of course you want to get in. See, your fear is, once you get in, you're fearful you're not going to get out in time. Well, that fear is gone. That's why I designed the Max Investor 1000 with color-coded technology. It'll get you out before it crashes. Believe me. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. We're a teaching format. Boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, most people get involved with a 401k because of the employer match. They really believe that there's free money. There's no free money. It's a scam. Here's how it works. You ever notice that you can't get the money all at once? Why not? Why don't they just give you the match all at once? Why over 6 years? Because they know only 12% of the people who work for a company stay for 6 years or more. Only 12% are there for 6 years. That's why they plugged it to 6 years. They know you're not going to stay. So it's not for your benefit. It's for the benefit of the company. It's a scam. There's an alternative, though. Phil's Gang. Join my gang. philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere, no matter where I go, I'm not going to get into the stock market because it's rigged. And I think, what are you, nuts? That's exactly why I want to get into the market. Here, listen to this.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish the wealth effect.
No, we front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally. So are you telling me you don't want to get into a market where they front-loaded an enormous rally, where they fixed it to go up? You don't want to get in? What are you, nuts? Of course you want to get in. See, your fear is, once you get in, you're fearful you're not going to get out in time. Well, that fear is gone. That's why I designed the Max Investor 1000, the color code technology. It'll get you out before it crashes. Believe me. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grandy and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
You know, although the GDP number got a lot of attention for being, quote, bad, but if you look into it, the consumer part of it was better than expected. I mean, can the consumer rescue this stock market?
What are you, nuts, consumer? Are you kidding? You know what they don't tell you? They don't tell you when they look at the numbers, the reason they say consumer's doing better. No, he's not. He's paying more for his stuff. I always tell you that. Prices are going up, but people aren't getting paid more. Their wages aren't going up. So as the dollar keeps decreasing in value, which because they keep printing money to provide near 0% rates so that the cockroaches who run the Federal Reserve, the banksters, the banking cartel, the parasites, where they can give companies, their pals, money, free money. Free money. Are you kidding me? So the more they print to give free money to the corporations to buy their own shares back, and the more printing, the dollar goes down in value, and the very people who make this country, they go to the supermarket, the dollar is worth less. They're paying more. Prices continue to go up. So what do they say? Oh, look how well the consumer is doing. Look how much they bought this quarter. They didn't buy any more units, but they don't tell you the units. They just say, oh, look at this. They're spending more. Boy, they're really recovering. Bunch of nonsense. Hey, let's go make some money. Let's go to Stock Corner.
Stock Corner is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video channel. Go to philsgang.com. Click on the video channel graphic and check out Phil's free videos on the market, economy, and current events.
Boy, I'll tell you, these jibber jabbers on CNBC just drive me nuts. And these shows on the weekend, I don't know why I watch them. I just go nuts. I get aggravated. Marta keeps saying to me, why do you watch them? You get aggravated. Boy, do I get aggravated. The lying is incredible. The lying is incredible. We don't have a recovery. As I said, they gave the money to the wrong people. They took the money, the stimulus, they put it in the wrong areas of the economy. But let's talk about making some money. And first, before I do, I want to welcome all the listeners on 8:60 a.m., The Answer, San Francisco. At 7 p.m., we're going to be on each night at 7 p.m. on 8:60. Now, we're going to still remain on KDOW 12:20 a.m. at noon. So you're going to have me at noon on KDOW 12:20 a.m. and then again 7 p.m. Pacific time on 8:60 a.m. The Answer. So kind of like bookends. We're very happy about that. We are. Now, let's go make some money. You know, we keep on hearing more and more now this nonsense, this lie. Listen to this. Just starting.
I think what's important to understand is the U.S. Economy and the stock market is a reflection of that.
The stock market is a reflection of the economy. We just started to hear that last week. Now we're starting to hear it again this week.
But at the end of the day, if the market's going to continue going up, really what that's saying is that the economy's fine.
That is such a lie. The stock market has nothing to do with the economy. The stock market doesn't reflect the economy. Not at all. Just like the 4.7% unemployment rate doesn't reflect the economy. The unemployment rate's 18%, not 4.7%. 5 million people, discouraged workers who left the workforce, are not counted in the 4.7. They put them off in the heavens somewhere, in a black hole somewhere. Never counted. Or the 14 million people on disability checks are not counted. They're not part of the 4.7. So here's what you got to think about when you're investing and trying to make money. Stop listening to these people who keep trying to sell you stocks based on the fundamentals of the stock. The market cap, the trailing PE ratio, the forward PE ratio, the price to book, the price to margin, what the company is doing. Oh, yeah, the company, look at it. You better hurry up and buy this stock. What a wonderful stock. You wouldn't believe this cream they just came up with. It's a special zit cream, Friday night zit cream, they call it. If you're a teenager and you got a zit, and they always end up when you're a teenager, but every teenager knows it's true. You go out, you're ready to go out 7 o'clock at night, you go to the mirror and you look, you got a zit right at the end of your nose. Always happens to every teenager. This cream will take that zit away in 2 seconds. Boy, we got to invest in this company. Bunch of nonsense. You do not invest in a company because of what a company does. You invest in a company based on, is Vanguard Group going to be putting money in? Is T. Rowe Price going to be putting money in? Are the bankers putting money in? Are the 401ks putting money in? Are the pension funds putting money in? Now, here's the beautiful thing. Because the market is rigged, it's manipulated, financially engineered. That's a beautiful thing because you never have to worry about getting into a market again at the right time and getting out at the right time. Meaning, you don't have to worry about, I better get into a stock at $100 before it goes to $200. No more. All you're going to do is, just like I teach my students, you're just going to take a little piece of cheese, just like a little bite out of the market. You want a little bite out of the market. What do I mean? Take McDonald's. On my MV2 chart, we identified it turned from red to green. The green's telling us the institution started to put money back in. And they started to put money back in right around March 5th. March 5th. It was right around March 5th, and it was around $115. It went all the way up to about April 11th, to around $127. That was about a 10% return. All you had to do, you don't care about the company, just get that little piece of cheese between those 2 times, when it turned from red to green and then when it turned back to red. That little piece of cheese, just like a little bite of cheese. That's all you want. That's all you have to do. Just wait until you get that buy signal and then get out when you have the sell signal. If that's all you do, and that's what this chart is, it's color-coded technology. It works. That's all you do. You never have to again worry about, I better buy this company long-term, and I better get a broker, tell me all about the company, tell me about the economic growth of the company, tell me about all the fundamentals. You haven't got to know anything about a company. All you got to know is when to get in, when to get out, and that's what my chart does for you. Hey, we'll be right back, 28 past the hour, here on Phil's Gang. Join my gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Phil Grandy is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish.
And with a passionate desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you'll be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. People make it too complicated. Wall Street tells you the market cap and the trailing PE and the forward PE and price to sales to confuse you. All you need to know is, does the stock have volume? What's that mean? Energy. What does that mean? If you have people buying a stock, enough of the stock's being bought, it influences the prices to go up. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We're using charting, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Question of the week. Will 177,000 jobs and a 4.8% unemployment be enough to calm fears on this economy after that disappointing growth report? 1.2% second quarter GDP coming in at half what the street was looking for.
Unbelievable. Welcome back to Phil's Gang. 177,000 jobs. Are you kidding? A GDP of 1.2%? Come on. If you average the last three-quarter GDP, it's below 1%. There is no growth in this country. There's no growth. So the way that my gang will continue to make money, continue to reach our goals of retirement, to put that money away, and to help St. Jude, because that's why we're here. We've been doing this for 15 years to help St. Jude. All we ask, if we help our gang member, then in turn our gang member sends money directly to St. Jude. And we help them by making them money. Give you an example. We have one stock that we follow mostly all year long. Caterpillar, CAT, the symbol, Caterpillar. Same thing. You just want to get a little piece of it. Just a little piece of it, that's all. You just wait. You be patient. You're like a chess player. So we waited, and Caterpillar was red. That meant the institutions were pulling their money out. But then, on January 25th, it turned green. Caterpillar turned green. That meant that the banks, the pension funds, the hedge funds were starting to put money back into Caterpillar. So we, the gang, put money in Caterpillar. And then we got another signal in March. So we got in January, around January 25th. In March, we got the signal they were pulling money out. That's the beautiful thing. So you can sleep at night. When you know that you're going to get a signal, you're not waiting for some dope, some financial advisor.
What's a financial advisor?
That is a term that means almost nothing. It is somebody who might be a financial planner, or it could be a broker who is really a salesperson.
Or it could be a guy with a mask and a gun. Well, at least guys with masks and guns who go into a 7-Eleven, hold them up, at least they take a risk. These guys on Wall Street don't take a risk.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
Boy, that's comforting, isn't it? No wonder we have more and more 401ks, the folks in 401ks suing. Every day we see more and more lawsuits. It's unbelievable. But all we do here at Phil's Gang is just take a little bite of the cheese. Think of Caterpillar as one big piece of cheese. And there we did. We did it. Caterpillar was a 28% return from when it started to turn green to when it turned red. Doesn't mean you have to get the whole piece either. What if you got 10% of it? I always tell my gang, like we started this morning, I said, for the month of August, I want you to just get one good investment. We need just one all month. We'll wait for the pattern. We'll wait for one good pattern. We got a whole month to make our goal. Whether it's 10%, 15%, whatever the goal is, we got a whole month. And we're going to wait for it to set up on our MV2. And in celebration of going on 8:60 a.m., The Answer in San Francisco, which will be on at 7 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to again offer the MV2, the color-coded technology chart. You can use it. You sign up as a gang member for $39.95. For 1 month, I'll allow you to use the MV2 at no cost. You can follow us on the MV2 on the stocks that we put on MV2 for a month. At the end of the month, okay, after going, again, we'll put the stocks on. You go to the program called Working Investors. So we update you all the time. All you do is go to Working Investors. You come to the site, Phil's Gang site, and go right to Working Investors, and you're updated on the stock. It's so easy. You don't have to do a thing. This is beautiful. People say, I don't want to do anything. I just want to make some money. We do the work. We do all the lifting for you. And it's fun for you to watch. You can participate as much as you want or as little as you want. So let me give you the number, 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-GANG. Sign up for the gang, $39.95, and you'll get comp, which is $24.95. You'll get comp to $24.95 for 1 month. It's free. And then at the end of the month, you want to stay, you continue with the gang membership, then you pay the $24.95. That is a very good value. And all we ask in return, if you're making money, please send money to St. Jude, okay? Here's the number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG, and we have Steve there taking your calls now, and Tommy, and Alex, and they'll take your call. And they're not in the Philippines or anywhere else. They're right here in the United States, right in Sarasota, okay? All right. I want to continue with, this is crazy what's going on. See, Obama made a huge mistake, and his team, because they weren't business people. They didn't understand how the economy works. They had no idea. The big mistake, he focused too much on tax cuts for the 1 percentile, his friends. He focused too much on the Democratic governors to pay for their union police, their fire, their teachers, all union, because he wanted to thank them because they're the ones that got him elected. He took all that stimulus money and put it to the wrong use. That's not stimulus. You don't stimulate when you pay for to the governor, you give the governor of New Hampshire or whatever money for their union police, fire, and teachers. That's not stimulating. They already have a job. The states are supposed to take care of it. But to take the stimulus, that was insane. Focused too much on that. And then he focused too much on green jobs that cost you and me $12 million a pop. And green energy like Solandra cost us a fortune. Then instead of creating infrastructure, that's what he should have been done. Not worry about creating green energy, green Solandra, green jobs. He should have been focusing on the infrastructure, our roads, our bridges. He should have taken that money and got people to work, millions of people to work. He didn't do that. He should have got Keystone online. He didn't do that. The idea of producing wind or energy by wind or sun is nuts. It doesn't work. It costs 63 cents per kilowatt hour. We produce it right now at 6 cents by coal. And we got to pay the difference between the 6 cents and 60. That's nuts. Obama also focused on the parasite bankers. Here was the big problem. Instead of focusing on Main Street, instead of focusing on the Main Street and the small businesses, he focused on the parasites, the bankers, and the green energy. He caused the worst income inequality of any president in history by front-loading a massive stock market rally. The market went up 160%, which only benefited the 5 percentile of the population. Instead of investing that money, that their newfound wealth, when they made that money, when the 1 percentile made all that money, instead of taking that money where they rigged the stock market for them to make all that money, over $40 billion went into their pocket. Instead of taking that money, that wealth, and all the economic gains, and put it into infrastructure, to give it to the working middle class, give it to Main Street, especially small business. Instead, they put the cash in the same pile with all their other cash, the wealthy did. They don't need anything. They already spent money. They got everything they want. Just think of the recovery we would have had. Just think. Remember, all recoveries, all good economies come from savings, business spending, good meaningful jobs, hard work, and most important, productivity. We're not getting any of that, so there is no recovery. There's no recovery. 8 years, no recovery. 8 years, all that money, no recovery. And when I hear over the weekend they keep telling us, the politician, the quickest way to create jobs is to increase minimum wage for 1.5 million people ages 16 to 25. 1 million out of a workforce of 147 million. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? The first thing we should have done is done what Bill Clinton did. Went in and said, look, you're not going to get a disability check. You're not going to get a welfare check. If you don't have a job within 1 year, all checks stop. We'll be right back. Take a look at another stock when we do. Bill's Gang, sign up. 877-600-GANG.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere, no matter where I go, I'm not going to get into the stock market because it's rigged. And I think, what are you, nuts? That's exactly why I want to get into the market. Here, listen to this.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish the wealth effect.
But we front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally. So are you telling me you don't want to get into a market where they front-loaded an enormous rally, where they fixed it to go up? You don't want to get in? What are you, nuts? Of course you want to get in. See, your fear is, once you get in, you're fearful you're not going to get out in time. Well, that fear is gone. That's why I designed the Max Investor 1000, the color code technology. It'll get you out before it crashes. Believe me. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. during the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. It's always about fees. That's right. It's always about fees. When you're investing in anything, it's about fees, but especially 401ks. Let me explain to you how you get screwed with a 401k. Nobody will tell you this. You'll be told with a $25,000 investment, your 401k will return 7%, and over 30 years, you'll retire with a nest egg of $226,000 with a fee of 0.5%. That is a lie. Do you know if you just bump it from 0.5% to 1.5%, that $226,000 drops to $160 with 2% fee? It drops to $123. But you know what most fees are? 3%. So you're going to drop almost below $100,000. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and get rid of that 401k. It is not for your benefit.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere, no matter where I go, I'm not going to get into the stock market because it's rigged. And I think, what are you, nuts? That's exactly why I want to get into the market. Here, listen to this.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish the wealth effect.
But we front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally. So are you telling me you don't want to get into a market where they front-loaded an enormous rally, where they fixed it to go up? You don't want to get in? What are you, nuts? Of course you want to get in. See, your fear is, once you get in, you're fearful you're not going to get out in time. Well, that fear is gone. That's why I designed the Max Investor 1000, the color-coded technology. It'll get you out before it crashes. Believe me. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang in celebration, of our new radio station. We're going to give you, our new station, 860 AM, The Answer in San Francisco. We're going to be on 7 p.m. Pacific. And again, in KDOW, 12:20 a.m., we're still on at 12 noon. So we're going to be bookends for you. In celebration, we're going to introduce you to our MV2. It's a tremendous, tremendous way to invest in a stock. It's a simply color-coded technology. We'll educate you on it. So simple. All you have to do is join the gang. It's $39.95. And then you get comped for 1 month, 4 weeks, the MV2, which is $24.95. At the end of 4 weeks, I'll guarantee you'll be so delighted with the MV2. You'll say, I'm going to stay and I'm going to continue as a gang member and I'm going to lease the MV2. So here's all you got to do. Go to my site, philsgang.com, or call right now, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG, and you can talk to Steve or Alex or Tommy, and they'll sign you up for the program so you get comped for 4 weeks, the MV2. Okay? So do it now and until we shut this thing off. Okay. Listen to this.
The big story, capital spending. What's happening with business? It's now down 3 quarters in a row, negative that is.
Capital spending is down. Of course capital spending is down. But they tell us that the consumer is strong. Well, you can't have it both ways. If consumers are strong, then business will go and invest. They'll buy new equipment. They'll buy machinery. Companies don't go and buy new equipment and machinery and software if business isn't good. If they see the consumer's not spending, the consumer has no money. So they're lying. It makes no sense to say the consumer is doing good. And then you go and you check and you look at the consumer spending. It's tanking. It's tanking. It doesn't work that way. Companies will not expend money if they think the consumer is not spending. So consumer spending is down, but they're telling us that how can they tell us that consumers are spending when business investment, capital investment is down? It's amazing. Just like, again, when you listen to Elizabeth Warren or you listen to Bernie Sanders, well, we have this terrible, slow economy. What is their solution? Their solution, again, is to fight the longest war they've been fighting. Keep fighting the war on poverty. What? Fight the war on poverty? That war's been lost. That war's been going on for 50 years. So they want us to raise minimum wage, and they want us to continue to fight this 50-year war that we have lost, where the middle-class taxpayer spent $22 trillion to fight poverty. It has actually grown worse now than it was in 1993 when the war started. We have no return on our investments. They've taken stolen money from us, $22 trillion, this war on poverty, and poverty has not gone down. Politicians always turn to the raising of the minimum wage. A joke. It's a joke. That's all we're going to hear from now to the end of the election. 77, we're going to raise minimum wage, raise minimum wage. That's not a solution to fixing poverty or creating a meaningful jobs. What are you, nuts? It's window dressing for politicians. You're going to give 1.5 million people out of 147 million people, that's our workforce, give them a $15 an hour raise. Give them 20. What difference does it make? It's not going to change anything. It affects too few people. The problem is not that minimum wage is too low. The problem is too few people are working, but both the Republicans and the Democrats are still stupid to get it. Too many welfare people. These people, they're receiving too much money for too long. They become dependent on public assistance. Listen.
I won't have to worry about putting gas in my car. I won't have to worry about paying my mortgage.
You got Obama phone?
Yes, everybody in Cleveland, no minority got Obama phone.
Yeah, see, they start getting dependent. But see, that's what they want. Do you think that Republican or a Democrat would care about these women? No, they don't care. They're just a number. The Democrats need more bodies. And in the Democratic Convention, we never saw how lopsided it was. We never saw in the history of this country 50% of the people wanted socialism sitting here at the Democratic Convention. In fact, you want to know something that's interesting? Why we have so much welfare and why the mentality is to keep increasing this welfare state, get more people dependent on public assistance. Because when Obama was a neighborhood organizer, he worked for what they call the National Welfare Rights Organization. He was a young lawyer. The organization distributed information packets, not about how to become productive. Yeah, they go out and they distribute these packets in the neighborhood, not about how to become productive, how to present yourself in finding a job, but how to receive more welfare assistance, the tricks that you can pull. As a result, welfare increased while Obama was working for this organization, National Welfare Rights Organization. Welfare increased from 162,000 to 1.8 million during the time Obama worked for this organization. I'm not saying he did that single-handedly, but you get my point. The solution is not an increase in minimum wage or more welfare benefits. It's the renewal of Bill Clinton's Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act to get people off the dole and back to work. Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act. It reduced assistance to the poor. It added strict conditions for food stamps. It reduced the welfare assistance that went to immigrants. It's unbelievable. This was a good idea. It required welfare recipients, whether you were an immigrant or not, to begin working after 2 years. I'd cut it to 1 year. After 2 years, if you didn't have a job, you were cut off. And also, your lifetime limit on welfare was cut to 5 years. I'd cut it to 2. And you know what it really discouraged? Out of wedlock births. There's the real problem. The rise in single parenthood households. So over 72% of single parent household is black compared to 25% white. 62% is Hispanic, making it all but impossible for these single parents to work full time. What he did, Bill Clinton did, worked. It cut the welfare in half by adding these work requirements, this working component to welfare, where it was required that if you went on welfare, you better have a job within 2 years or you're done. What it did is the program weaned people off of welfare because it limited payouts and gave them an incentive to get a job. Now, under this administration, they take the incentive of getting a job away from you. They tell you, you're job locked. You're job locked. Go home. Play the piano. Be an artist. Don't work. We'll pay your health insurance. Remember that? Obama is the welfare president. The minute he became president, what did he do? To increase the number of Democrat voters so he could win a second term. Axelrod, Larry Summers, talked him into what? To gut the Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act. And he did. And guess what? It went right back up to where everything doubled again. So what does that mean? That means, how does that affect us? How does that affect stocks? Because it means that the debt in this country is going to keep climbing. And when you have debt, you can't get a good job. You got to save for retirement. You're not going to make money in your 401k. So here's what you do. Join my gang for $39.95. For 4 weeks. 4 weeks, you will get free the use of my MV2. MV2. That's a great opportunity. Call now, 877-600-GANG. Then at the end of 4 weeks, when you're finished, you make a decision if you want to continue, and then you start leasing the MV2. That's a great opportunity. All we ask, if you make money, please send money to St. Jude. We'll see you on the charts. And thank you, 8:60 a.m., The Answer, San Francisco.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to